Welcome to Demystifying IT with Bopi Dal and Sarjeet Kanungo, speaking the language of IT with innovators and pioneers that have harnessed the power of information technology.
I'm back with Robert Atkins, the acclaimed tech visionary behind blockbuster video game franchises like Quake and Tomb Raider. Throughout his illustrious career, Robert has always been at the forefront of blending technology and entertainment. As CEO of Balanced Media Technology, he continues to pioneer new innovations that captivate audiences. But Robert, with any emerging technology, ethical questions arise. So what principles should guide us as we create the next generation of immersive gaming experiences?
Yeah, sure. We've mentioned being parents, right? Distraction, I think is part of that. You don't want to just use screen time as a babysitter or as just sitting there staring at your screen all day long. We all struggle with our kids doing this, and even now we still get under our youngest about that at times. The thing that we have to realize that the genie's out of the bottle, and we're going to have to figure out how to do something positive with that time. There's a great documentary. It's called The Social Dilemma. Social Dilemma is where they're talking about mostly social platforms and the negative impact of the social platform on young people, almost specifically. And they're talking about how, this is affecting their mind, they're affecting their confidence, it's affecting our society. And these people who are in this documentary are the ones who helped create those platforms. And they're talking about the reasons why they stepped away. And they stepped away from those platforms because philosophically they no longer aligned to what those platforms are doing. I understand that. I almost left the gaming industry because about 8 years ago, because I didn't just want to make content anymore. So I thought, this is not my purpose. This is something that doesn't give me purpose. This is just product. I realized that through that process, I didn't need to leave this industry that I helped create. I need to figure out how to empower it. And that's really at the heart of the thing that they missed, those people who were talking in Social Dilemma, they missed is by leaving those companies, by leaving this industry, you're the only ones who can make the change. The change has to come within. The change has to come internally, or you're going to have a regulatory body putting regulations onto your industry. And that's not what any of us want. Government regulations are not often good, and especially for innovation. So you have to make the decision to be able to do that from within. Those types of decisions we have to really start to look at customer health, customer well-being, customer advancement. We cannot just look at a customer as how can we extract wealth? How can we extract data? How can we extract from them? It needs to be the mindset of the leaders need to change. We need to be thinking about how am I going to add value back to my customers? How am I going to add value back to those minutes? How can I take that same minute of engagement with my product and do something more that also has impact on the world? Because it's technology, we can interlace multiple things simultaneously to allow us to do that. And that is really at the heart of where technology makes things possible. But I do believe it also takes a shift in mindset to start to the leaders of industry need to start to look at their products and make a philosophical decision when it comes to their company's goals that they are going to add positive impact into every minute someone engages their product. And it's not only going to make the world better, it's going to make their customers love them more, it's going to make them more money, it's going to increase employee retention and loyalty. There's so much value into changing the mindset around realizing your customer needs to be a positive place that you're that you're operating, and not just be a let's extract as much from them as possible, as fast as possible. And that is unfortunately what happened with technology. And you saw a lot of that, because it was expediting so fast and the growth was so fast. I think that it's just taking people who maybe are our age, who have been through the cycles of business and have been through ups and downs of the economic stress, to start to realize, there's more to this journey. There's more to running a company. There's more to how we focus our morals and values toward our customers and the world that we live in, because if we don't do it, then who will?
Yeah, very long-range thinking. I want to commend you for that. What are some of your goals for the future of balance?
I've mentioned some of the things earlier around I want to make positive impact. When we started thinking about our company and what we wanted to do with it, we realized we're not the only ones with the mindset that we have. There's a lot of individuals out there who've done amazing things in the space, and they would take on really powerful problems, and they would be like, we want to solve a problem around this. And they would go and they would do it. And then that would be the end of it. They would solve that problem, but there would be no way to scale that solution. So when we looked at the company, we were like, we need to build a platform that allows this ability to crowdsource solutions with interactive experiences, so that anybody playing games, not just our games, not just a single game, but all games. So we built the human platform that connects to the Unreal Engine, that connects to Unity, that connects to HTML5, Twitch streaming, and because we want to democratize crowdsourcing, problem solving across all games and all gamers, so that everyone can do this. And like I've said earlier, I want to take that platform that now connects AI, machine learning to interactive experiences, and then start to apply it to problems that affect all humanity. I've mentioned we're working with Nicholls State University in South Louisiana. That 2 years ago was a direct hit of a hurricane. Basically, it's ground zero. When they first started that university, they were close to 100 miles from the coast. They've lost 30% of that coastline since their inception. And they have amazing researchers, but they're only, we want to empower them. We want to expedite that research. We want to expedite discovery. We want to empower with technology industries to get to solutions faster. We work with drug discovery pipelines where we're trying to look through computational biology and hundreds of thousands of compounds of potential medicines that could help with COVID and keep the virus from attaching to healthy cells. We were able to take our platform and distribute that processing across game developer or gamers who allowed us to use their unused CPU cycles. And we were able to find over 20 possible compounds that could maybe block the virus. These are FDA approved compounds. So white labeling a compound that already is on the market. So we already have shown it to be successful and healthy, but reuse it for something else. So really taking technology and starting to put it in the hands of the real experts. We're not biologists. We're not environmental researchers. We're not government agencies. We are a tech company taking our platform, human, and putting it in the hands of the experts who need those tools. They're doing it on their own otherwise, or they're not able to expedite their work. So really empowering people is the goal of Balanced. We want to take what we're building from a technology point of view, bring the crowd with us because the crowd cares. And we want to take that technology and then apply it to really pressing issues that affect all of us. And the same work that's being done at Nichols on the coastline of Louisiana can then go be applied in other countries, other places around the world where coastline is being lost and environmental impact is being felt. And that is really ultimately what we're trying to do, is build a platform that we can then put in the hands of game developers and researchers and people who want to try to solve these problems, and so that we can expedite discovery and we can shorten the times that it's taking right now. And that is being empowered with tech.
Incredible. So staying on the same theme, I was wondering if you could share some information on, Balance is the first company to put cancer research into Minecraft. That's impressive. Are you able to share the impact and the results of this unique approach to medical research?
Yeah, so not to get too deep in the weeds, but it was the type of cancer that we were looking at was third stage cancer, which normally is a death sentence for people because of the tools we have to fight cancer when it comes back for the third time are very limited. What happens in your body is your cells mutate each time you get cancer. So you put chemo into the treatment, what will happen is your cells will start to create these pumps, and they'll create more pumps. And every time you get chemo, they create pumps because the pumps are pushing the chemo out because your body's being poisoned. What we were looking at was, are there FDA-approved compounds that are on the market that can temporarily shut down those pumps? And if you can temporarily shut down a pump, then maybe you can, and they show this in the lab with some of their compounds, you can temporarily shut down a pump. You can then put just a little bit of chemo in the body and it will kill the cancer. So that was our kind of, goal, was like, okay, let's identify the potential compounds. All compounds that are FDA approved have a, computational sequencing. So we know kind of what they are mathematically. We know in most cases how they are in 3D, how to fold those proteins and those compounds in 3D, or how they look in 3 dimensions. What we were trying to do is, let's identify which compounds that are out there that can block those pumps. The problem with it is it's very expensive if you create that compound in a lab and then do actual wet lab work. So we wanted to do it computationally. So we took the computational information from the compounds and we put it into Minecraft. And Minecraft's a game made of blocks. There are all these little blocks. What we did was, instead of that little block just having a variable like it's red or it's green, or it's destructible or it's movable, we put another variable into a block. And we said, okay, these blocks that are red are associated to the compounds we know that don't really work that great. But the blocks that are green, we're putting a variable into them that we have shown have potential to work. And so we let the players essentially move blocks around. And so they're helping, like, they're trying to get blocks that are green. They're trying to create a resource in the game. They don't know they're helping with cancer research. We want them to, ultimately, but really they're just trying to win a game. And their intrinsic value is, hey, I want to win, or I want to do well. And so the more blocks or the more variables we've got from the crowd saying, hey, these green, we're seeing this movement over here, and everyone seems to be pushing these blocks toward the green area. That is now a variable that the crowd has given us that we put back into the machine learning model. And we train the AI to say, hey, you know what? Humans think something's over here. Why don't you go look over there in that area and look at compounds that the humans think are possible matches? And so what we've done, that whole concept of humans creating a new variable into the machine learning model, allows us to expedite or jump the accuracy of the model. It allows us to go look into areas that are potentially more aligned to the needs of the scientists in the wet labs, so that they're not wasting time or money synthesizing medicines that are not going to be effective. We've allowed the humans, the crowd, to be able to help us sort of push the science into a direction that is going to unlock potentiality even more. So the scientists are still in the loop. The humans are just helping narrow down the potential area, that so they're not spending time wasting looking in the wrong direction.
Wow. Amazing. Really amazing. So, your CTO has been named as the Inventor of the Year by the U.S. Patent Office in Texas. I think this is a significant achievement. What can you share about your CTO and the awards and recognitions and their significance to your company?
We love the social proof that this is bringing us. And we have such an amazing CTO. Dr. Corey Clark is unlike anybody I've ever met. He's brilliant and he's kind, and he's just a good person, and that really makes a huge difference. My three really important things, right? People. He's absolutely critical to our success, and he has done an incredible job. I can't say enough nice things about him, and he deserves all of the recognition that comes his way. He absolutely is at the forefront of what we're doing with Human Platform. He's the architect who has laid out the vision for what we're trying to accomplish and how games can do more than just entertain. When I first met him, he started working on the Barbara Bush Foundation X Prize. Barbara Bush was George Bush Sr.'s wife, President Bush's wife. Her initiative was always reading literacy. And she, oddly enough, was against gaming. She thought games were like the devil because it was taking kids away from reading. And for her foundation to recognize a product, gaming, that was game-based, because the thing about, once again, technology, the data is there to say whether it's effective or not. Corey and his team built a game where they could teach illiterate adults, both read in English and Spanish. It was more accurate and faster than anything that was applied for in the X Prize. So they won the Barbara Bush Foundation X Prize with a video game. And so, once again, for her foundation to award, multi-million-dollar award for that really does show the power of gaming. That's an example. First time anyone had ever won an X Prize with a video game as well, and that's pretty outstanding. He's working on things right now that are around human trafficking, being able to take data and text data and be able to then train models to be more effective and more accurate, so that we can start to see correlation within the data. And we put that into a video game as well. And we've been able to do things like train AI to look at medical images, and being able to identify disease state in these images. All of these things have been patented. We've looked at things like homomorphic encryption. We won another with Tech Titans around this, being able to keep things fully encrypted across from the customer all the way through the process. So the algorithms never unencrypted, creating higher security. And being able to do all these things Corey has been able to do this as our CTO and also Deputy Director of Research at the Guildhall, where he has a lab at SMU, which is one of the largest labs on campus. I mean, 24 people are working in his lab that are working on these different areas of discovery. And so being able to take this vision that we had at the beginning of our company, where gaming can do more, and being able to apply it to multiple problems simultaneously was really the goal that Corey set out. We wanted to make a problem agnostic platform that allowed us to tackle multiple problems simultaneously, so you were not stuck in the paradigm of one problem, one solution, not scalable. And then allowing that new product that is created on top of the platform to be commercializable. So having it make commercial, out of the lab into society impact is critical. So being able to, not just do research for research's sake, but actually take that research and make a difference in the world because it's applied was really at the heart of what Corey and the team has continually been doing. So it's not just a patent for patent's sake, it's actually a patent around a concept to be able to then unlock more potential for empowering humanity.
Amazing. Last but not the least, what is your legacy that you want to leave behind?
I don't think about myself a lot other than I often struggle with this because I really have been doing this because I feel like it's my purpose to do something with my skills and talents that can make an impact. I'm open to what God and the universe wants that to be. If I had to think about it from just a more logical point of view, I look at industries out there that I believe are doing what we're doing in a different way. AWS, for example, it is a platform that allows businesses and other industries to thrive and to build on top of, right? So it's creating revenue, it's creating industry, it's creating entrepreneurship. It allows the AWS technology, allows lots of things to be possible that is not just about Amazon's core business when it comes to selling you stuff. Microsoft the same way, Google the same way. These are platforms that allow industry to thrive and allow that change to take place. And they're essentially tools. And I think that even what Tim Sweeney is doing with the Unreal Engine is he's helping create a gaming platform and gaming tools that allow other developers to do amazing things. And that ultimately, I think, is what we're doing at Balance is we're creating a platform, the human platform, that allows amazing things to take place and to improve humanity, just like those other groups are doing that. So I think that really ultimately is if I had to leave a legacy would be that, the platform continues to empower people and, expediting discovery and being able to move the needle so that people don't feel powerless, that, just because they're not, programmers or they're not technologists or not scientists, they could play games and they can still make an impact. They can do the thing that they love, and they can still make a difference. And that is really ultimately what I think, we as business-minded people and leaders need to really be thinking about is how do we empower our communities and empower our customers to, run other businesses or make a difference and leave their mark. So it's really about the leaving of marks that are not necessarily mine, but the technology that are putting in place will be what drives others to make an impact in the world. And I think that would be a great legacy to leave.
Well, Robert, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate you taking your valuable time and discussing about you, your background, and what you are trying to do in Balance, making an impact outside of Balance. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the time. I appreciate you and all the work you're doing as well.
Likewise. And that will do it for this episode of Demystifying IT. We hope you have enjoyed gaining insights from this technology leader as much as we have. Please help us spread the word by leaving a review on Apple Podcast or on Spotify. Your feedback means so much. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to having you back for more visionary conversations on the future of technology and business.
This has been Demystifying IT with Bopi Dal and Sarjeet Kanungo. Connect with Bopi and Sarjeet at demystifyingit.com, where you can take a quick assessment to explore the opportunities you may be leaving on the table and learn to expand your market or create a new one by building your business foundations on technology. Demystifying IT is a production of Forbes Books.